For the retailers who trade the pattern, we had a bearish flag, and for more advanced guys, we were leaving the lows. So this was an obvious sign that it's not a bottom, and anyone who have been calling this a bottom was like, I don't know, probably I don't know why would you call this a bottom. This was not a bottom. I did call the top here, exact top, on my X as well, on my channel as well. So yeah, but right now there is no obvious pattern visible, at least really. Right now I'm just expecting a range to be formed, and from that range we can go further on. Maybe we can get a accumulation, manipulation and distribution. We caught a trade yesterday with accumulation, manipulation, and distribution concept, PO3, another alternative, another name of that. So what basically we can do is that maybe we can do something like this. Maybe we accumulate for like February or for March, and then what we can do is that either we can do a manipulation, we sweep this low, that's our manipulation to the lower side, and then we finally distribute to the higher time frame. This can be, it can be till the NPOC of 92k, or maybe CME gaps till the 83k. So something like this is very possible if a range forms out. And of course, opposite can also happen. We can also do manipulation to the above side, and price can just continues to go down. What I mean by is that we consolidate, price do manipulation to the above side, we go down. So this is also possible. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a fortune teller, but I know how to execute. So if anything like this happens, I will be ready to execute to make money. So yeah, I'm just waiting for a higher. I'm talking from the higher time frame perspective. But let's say for range forms, there will be thousands of opportunities in this range to trade from and to make money from. So we are not worried about that. I'm talking about like 4 hour or a daily time frame. So if a range forms, I would like to see a manipulation, and then we move further into higher, and that would be our swing trade basically. So I'm just waiting for that. Manipulation can also happen to the above side. Do not take that PO3 is like biased towards someone. Manipulation can also happen to this. Like you see, this is also a liquidity pool, so we can, the manipulation can be as simple as that. We basically just sweep this 75k imbalance, or maybe a higher manipulation. We sweep these equal highs of 4 hour, and then basically we distribute to the lower time frame, which can be 40k. Now, what are my thoughts? I do believe that 40k will come. I am not buying Bitcoin in the spot right now. Market is very weak. I can even show you the signs from the order flow as well. Let me just remove that. Like this, like they, I mean, the open interest is also really dead. The contracts are constantly being going down. But if I show you the OBV, this is a really good tool which I use really to highlight the breakouts and everything. So market shows weakness, clear weakness. You can see the market shows the clear weakness, and I do expect, unless I start to see some sort of structure shift on the on balance volume OBV, I am not gonna be bullish on Bitcoin. I think this just looks really bearish to me. Just the price action, like you can see when market was trending, this OBV was like in a really good situation, but now this is like a really bad, and it is just in a free fall, like it was basically so that is just one of the indicators that I use to see the weaknesses and uh, strength in the market. The another one is RSI. I do not use these to trades. I use these to highlight the strength in the market. And you can see the RSI is also at at lowest. And do not take the RSI as a trade. Let's say some people do is that, let's say if RSI is oversold, is a RSI is below the 30 level or is at the 16 level, people go and start to buy. That's basically wrong. You don't use RSI oversold and overbuy to trade. You use the RSI divergences basically to trade. This is just basically to show that there is immense weakness in the market. Like even on the weekly, you can see we are respecting this yellow MA. This is basically RSI moving average, 14 days RSI moving average. So you can see we are respecting this beautifully. There is no break. We are not trading above the 50, which is basically a sign of strength. We are trading below the 50 level, not just the below level, not just the 50. Now we are trading below the 30 level. So things are really bearish. Market, I do not see any sort of strength in the market through the order flow or through the price action. The Binance people are selling constantly on the Binance. Coinbase is also contributing to the selling that is happening. So higher time frame, I remain bearish and I'm not buying the spot, and I'm expecting 40k, and I will heavily deploy my capital when the price will approach to the 40k or the 30k. Another reason is that I do not like the risk to reward ratio from here as well. I see some people arguing that this is a good risk to reward ratio from here, but I think no. I think if I get price around this range, this 42k, I would love. I think then this is a good risk to reward ratio. I think this is not a good risk to reward ratio from here. So yeah, I think enough about the macro. I usually cover the macros on the Monday, so enough about that. Let's cover the intraday. What are my levels? All in, no, all in is never a solution. Basically, I will be deploying my spot. Basically, the strategy will be to layering. I don't know if you guys are aware of the layering. It's basically I will buy some sort of at the 40k, and if I see lower prices, I'm not gonna deploy the 100%. If I see lower prices at, like, let's say 38k, or I will go at the chart and analyze, like, if I see imbalances, I will deploy more capital there. If I see another major support or 4 hourly support, I will deploy more capital there. But let's say if market bounces, okay, if market gives a full reversal, I will do a positive DCA, so I will make an entry at 50k as well if market finally bounces. Only spot, yes, only spot. And leverage, I don't trade leverage, by the way. I don't trade leverage. I only trade on the profirms. I don't have the profirm account open. So yeah, I don't trade leverage. Leverage basically does not matter. You can open leverage if you want, but it doesn't really matter. It's all about your risk management. So position sizing basically. But of course, but with the spot, you don't really have a stop loss, so that's the difference there. I don't want to go in depth about that right now, in the difference, but yeah. Basically, yeah, okay. Let's just go into this 4 hourly time frame. Let me know if you have any questions though. So we caught this shot from this week that happened. It was a very obvious shot. If you follow my market updates on my channel, I will highly advise that you should do that. If you don't do that, you are missing out on a lot of things. Basically, my structure is that I make a plan, and then I execute. So this is my plan. I mean, this is like a common thing. Every trader should do that. But basically, when I make a plan, I basically share it with you. So my first plan was, I woke up, and the first thing I saw that price is consolidating. Price is in an accumulation, or you can say consolidation. So my first thought was, I want to see a manipulation to one side and then a final distribution. And trust me, the AMPO3 gets played out most of the time, and most people misses out. This was like the most obvious trade. This was the most easiest and the obvious trade I have ever caught in my life, and my trading career, I would say. So this was like, basically my bias was bullish, but I don't care the bias. Okay, if I get a trade opportunity towards the short side, I will do it. I'm not like, if I'm biased toward the long, that does not mean I will not take a shot if I get an opportunity. I think that's just not fair. So this consolidation was happening on 45-minute time frame. My reasoning, my thoughts were that I want to see a manipulation to the lower side. And the pure reason for that was because, we keep in mind, we already had a dump. We already had this enough dump. So I was expecting a continuation towards the higher. We had a bullish break of a structure on a 2 hour time frame. So I was expecting a continuation to the higher side. So my thought was, let me just draw the anchored VWAP. Yeah. Yeah. So my thoughts were that I want to see, let me just find this. Yeah, so I wanted to see, this was my accumulation. I wanted to see a manipulation towards the lower side at this imbalance we have, 30-minute imbalance, you can see. I wanted to see a manipulation towards this imbalance. Yeah, sorry, I wanted to see a sweep of this liquidity sweep. We do a liquidity raid of this liquidity pool, and then after that I was expecting a continuation towards the higher side of this imbalance. And the other confluence is basically where we had an anchored VWAP around that level. Anchored VWAP is now a bit up, but it was lower. It was trading at lower prices, but now it's basically up because more data have came out, and there was also a golden pocket. So you can see my confluence was basically that there was an anchored VWAP, golden pocket, and there was a 1 hour imbalance, 30-minute imbalance. There was, I guess, also a 4 hour imbalance. And yeah, you can see we also had an end of a 4 hour imbalance. So I was expecting a complete sweep of this imbalance, and I was expecting higher prices. So we had good confluences to believe that manipulation should happen at the lower prices, but that did not happen. I believe there was a volume profile confluence as well. Um, I believe it there was, but I think data has changed. Yeah, I guess that was it. Yeah, that was it basically. That's why I was expecting a manipulation towards the lower side, but unfortunately we did not get that. But on contrary, what we got is that we got a manipulation towards the upper side, which is good thing, because we if we didn't get a long opportunity, we basically just got a short, and it was an obvious one. I don't think so. It needs an explanation. Price was consolidating. Let me just go on a lower time frame. Price was consolidating, and we did a manipulation to the above side. We swept this liquidity of 4 hour imbalance. There was an inverse FEG as here as well. We swept everything, like every liquidity. There was a, you can see, 0.79 level here as well. We tapped on the 0.79 level. We front ran the 0.79 level, but yeah, you get the point. We were in a OTE premium area to look for shorts, and I believe there was a volume profile as well. Yeah, you can see there was a value area high as well. So it was a very obvious and pretty obvious short opportunity for me. We did caught it. We made decent money. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. Like I closed it early because of an illiquid day, because today is the bank holiday. The markets were not open. So I closed it early. And one of the major factors why I was looking to short here as well, because let me show you. Yeah, I hope I'm able to find it. Yeah, you can see when this wick was happening. Let me just go on a 45-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame. Okay, so when this wick was happening, you can see it was driven by the perps. You can see it was driven by the perps. So for me, this was like an opportunity to know that okay, this is going to be a fake one. And yeah, that's why I ended up shorting it. When the pump was happening, it was driven by the perps clearly. So it was an obvious opportunity to for me to look for shorts. So yeah, that's it. Now let's talk about what I'm expecting next. Even though I have shared the plan in my channel, um, let me bring that here. This one. Yeah. So that's the plan basically, where I'm expecting a bounce from this 4 hour order block. So let me just bring it on the chart so I can explain that as well real quick. If you're wondering what is there, these are basically levels of mine, higher time frame levels. So if we draw Fibonacci, basically have two Fibonacci. We have this high from absolute bottom to the absolute swing high. We have golden pocket around the NPOC. Naked point of control, you can see we have this naked point of control around this area. Let me just align this. Yeah. So we have this naked point of control. So my first area where I'm looking to long from is basically sweep of this naked point of control and then go higher. So that's my first area where I'm looking along from. The second area where I'm looking along from is this 4 hour order block. Not just because there are other confluences as well. Like if I draw volume profile, you can see we have a value area low. So basically what I'm expecting is that price should come down. Price comes down. Price does a failed auction. If you don't know what's a failed auction is, yeah, price does a failed auction of this value area high. Price reclaims this, and then we take a long here. Okay, so that is basically my two longs area. Is that first tap this order block, do a failed auction of the value area low, and then run higher. Basically, that's the first long opportunity, and the second long opportunity is a sweep of NPOC, which I like the more. But let's see what happens. The 66k level is not something to be taken lightly, by the way. I would love to take a trade long on a 66k level, but yeah, there is also a golden 0.705 level around the value area low if you draw Fibonacci from this low to this high. So yeah, pretty good confluences, pretty good area. These are my longs areas for the Bitcoin. So this is how I'm looking to play this range out. Let me just drop the chart real quick. So yeah, for the shorts, not interested in shorts right now. I think if we continue the price action from here, I mean technically this is bearish and we should go down. But as I said, I'm expecting a range. But if we do a breakout, then like if we start to go up from here, then I think higher prices should come. Eventually your trigger for massive long is proper fill up of this Harley level. I'm not talking about SFPs, I'm talking about proper 4 hour to daily closing with massive volume, massive spot volume coming in from the Binance, Coinbase, and the BitMEX. Massive spot volume coming in, you fill up this 1 hour level, and that's basically your long trigger. So that's what I want to see. Fill up of this value area high, fill up of this hardly level, and I will turn bullish. But right now, I stay bearish on macro. I'm expecting a range, and I would love to trade that range. So yeah, that's it. I don't think so. There is much I can add to the Bitcoin. Basically, a range, and yeah, I will update the plan in my channel. So if you don't have my alerts, you can have my alerts from select roles. Let me just drop that. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it for the Bitcoin. That was the Bitcoin intraday plan. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions, if you have any sort of questions. Uh, yeah, not looking at Ethereum. Still not interested in the Ethereum. I did caught a short from this NPOC. Price did a SMT divergence of this 10 February high. I guess it was this high or this high. I don't remember. I can like let me just drop it from my X. I drop good shit on my X. If you want to, you can follow it. But if you don't want to, of course, you can choose to not to. Let me just drop this real quick. Yeah, I've dropped it in the chat basically. So I caught Ethereum shot from here. It ended up doing the 3 hour. Other than that, I'm not interested in Ethereum. I think this is just really bad, and I have an edge on the Bitcoin, so I don't need to trade the Ethereum or the Solana. Okay. If I see any worthwhile setup, I will share with you. But right now, I'm not looking at this. I don't think so. I need to make a setup. This is also in a range, but a really choppy range than the Bitcoin. So I will rather trade Bitcoin than Ethereum right now. Like, what is even this price action? There was no trade opportunity technically in this price action. I mean, you can argue that this sweep was good, but again, man, this is not a great price action. But on contrary, this was actually tradable, like proper accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So yeah, let's see what happens. Sticking to the Bitcoin, I think, is the good choice. I'm making good money trading Bitcoin, so I don't need to touch any other asset. Yeah, why should I do it? Like, it doesn't make sense. How to pass the perform account strategy. I have covered the passing perform strategy previously, I guess, but I don't think so it's a rocket science. I don't like I don't think so it's a appropriate session to cover that. But basically it's pretty simple. It's basically how you trade. I mean, there is no secret sauce. It's basically you trade, just basically how you trade, and you take positions on Bitcoin, like how you do it on your personal account, and that's it. Just make sure you do not risk more than one person. Okay, try to risk just one person. That's basically what I do. If you're asking my strategy, one person is my go-to. I don't risk more than one person, and most of the time I do not risk less than the one person. One person is my like sweet home. I love one person. I will probably marry one person. Egger. Yeah, Egger. How you? What do you mean? No, man. I have already answered it. I am not looking to DCA my spot positions. I will probably sell fat if we lose Bitcoin 40K. The only reason I am holding fat is I like the project. I like the AI narrative, and I want to have some sort of exposure. Altcoins are not good for long term. If I be honest, I am stuck in that fat position. If I be honest, do not invest in altcoin. Altcoins are not good for long term. If you are looking, if you're saying you want to invest in the long term on the altcoins, I will say don't do it, man. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. You can do whatever you want, but don't do it. Okay, it's not great. Stick to the Bitcoin, or maybe you look at the USA stocks. That's my entertainment advice, or whatever you can say. Agar, yeah, risky, whiskey. So I will tag the Bilal for you. You can get the template from him. Basically, he have made his own template. You can use that. That is basically a template of some other influencer. I don't know if I'm allowed to share that. I mean, I don't know if it's good, if I should share it. But yeah, that's the some other influencer template, and it's a great template. It helps me track of the spot and the perps delta coming in. because I have tried numerous terminals like MMT, TradingView, and also the Velo, but you don't get that proper CVD. I think that's a really good CVD agger, and it really helps me track everything. So for this, CVD is great, and you can align it with the Velo or open interest, and I think you will just kill it. You can all This is basically used for lower time frame. Do not use it on higher time frame. So yeah, but yeah, it's a really great tool. Other is this. I use this Kiyotaka for open interest, but this is not really good for open interest. I will shift to the Velo, but I use this for footprints, etc. It tells me about the traders. Like if I show you example, let me just go on a 15-minute time frame. I'm sorry guys, I know this might be a flashing to your eyes, but yeah, this is the issue of the terminal. I guess that was the high, right? You can see 30 almost $50 million worth of shorts are trapped at the highs. So that was another confidence for me that this is a local high and now we will go down from here. So yeah, you align it with multiple confluences. That's basically my strategy. Yes. Yeah. Hope this helps. Thank you, Sashman. I didn't know that existed, honestly. I guess it was a thread. That's why. Yeah, let me know, guys, if you have any questions. If this was a bit overwhelming, but I try to be as persuasive as I can. But I think, yeah, I also have like I'm a bit sick right now. Like weather is changing here. I'm not having a good feeling right now. So yeah, that's why my voice sounds a bit weird as well right now. I don't usually speak like that, but I don't have energy in me to like go in more depth. Sell and volume to buy. Sell and buy volume. Sell and buy volume. What do you mean? Do you mean this? If I be honest, I hardly use it, but it is good to tell you. It is good to like have some sort of idea in the market. I only use this indicator for to see the if the bottoms are formed. Like whenever bottoms are formed, it gives you a spike. Like you can see there was a spike here, there was a spike here at 10th October. So usually either you get a range or either you get a bounce when a spike like this happens on a daily, on a weekly. Like I can give you numerous examples. Like you can see here, this was the yen carry trade dump. That was it. That was it. And also this. Well, no, not that's not a great example. Yeah, that was the 10th October. That was the 10th October. So yeah, basically that's how I use it. Other than that, I basically stick to the CVD, basically spot and delta perps, and I think that's great for my strategy, and I make good money from that. And I sometimes use the OBV RSI. Yeah, there is no secret sauce. It's basically, if I be honest, most of you guys, if you practice the TA by yourself, you already know the enough. The problem is not in your technicals; it's probably in your execution. You guys are just so pussy enough to not execute. So you just have to buy a Profirm account, just blow up 5 to 6 Profirm accounts. Don't start with 100K, okay? Blow up 5 to 6 Profirm account. Get that fear out of you. If you're not gonna execute and if you are just gonna chart on the trading view, you're never gonna make it. Yeah, you're never gonna make profits. You need to execute in real time. Yeah, that's the best advice I can give you. But yeah, I guess let me know, guys, if you have any chart request. Uh, for the main indicators, main indicate there are no main indicators, man. I'm a man of confluence. So wherever the most confluences are, I take a trade. So I trade multiple concepts. I trade the PO3 as well. I trade the ICT as well. I trade the price action as well. I trade the PA as well. What else do I trade? I trade the volume profile, and I trade the order flow as well. So I trade everything and I combine every of these strategy, and wherever I find the most confluences, I basically take a trade there. Like you can see OTE levels, I use it, and POC. I don't think so. I have ever seen any ICT guy using the NPOCs or the volume profile. I use the equal highs, but I also use the order flow. So I combine every different strategy, and I have my edge around that. I think that's the best way I found. I mean, you can say this is sort of my own system. Like I combine multiple things and I formed my own system. But yeah, that's basically how I trade, and it's been working great for me. Last month we did 7%. on our portfolio, and this month we are all almost up 3% on our portfolio. So I'm fine. I think we are doing great with this strategy. If I think it needs some tweaks, I will make it. I think the most we need to introduce is that order flow. I think we are lacking on the order flow side, because if you are trading without the order flow, you're just doing TA. I think you are walking blindly. TA is like basically walking, but if you're not integrating order flow in your strategy, you are basically walking blindly, because you never know it's going to reject from there, right? But order flow helps you give you more confirmations that it's gonna what price is doing, what market participants are doing, and what you should be expecting at your point of interest. Yeah. Yeah, bro, as I said, just just open the X, learn from people like who are respectable, and combine multiple confluences. I'm basically a trader of confluences, as I said. Wherever I find the most confluences, I take a trade. Area of confluence, basically. So, as I said, I mean, there is like for ICT, there is a 4 hour order block. For volume profile, there is a value area low. For people who trade the Fibonacci, there is a OTE level around that. And people who trade the whatever, maybe the order flow, they will have their own confluences here. So I combine all the other TA, and I just include it in my strategy. I don't know how to like explain it, man. I guess I should open a mentorship for free. Might help people will learn it, but just make sure you focus on the execution part. I think that's the main thing. There are some good teachers on the X. Like you can follow me first of all. No, that's funny. You can actually follow this guy, whatever this name was, for the order flow luxury. He's a really great guy for the order flow. I love that guy. Follow Muro. He's also a good teacher. I really like his parallel channels. I started integrated parallel channels in my strategy as well. Um, you can also learn the whatever spider lines. That's also good. uh, what are the other teacher, man? I don't remember. Like yeah, you can just basically search about the order blocks, FVG imbalances. Like first learn about these, and then make your system, like take your main component and make your system around that. So my main components are two things: imbalances and volume profiles, and all the other things are revolves around them. So if I am and SFP is also a part of my main component, but yeah. So let's say if I'm expecting a PO3, I would like to see a manipulation, either tapping a value area high, sweeping a imbalance, or sweeping a high. I know this is an overwhelming thing, but if my if my PO3 manipulation does not align with my main component, I do not take a trade. So I have certain set of tools, etc. So it's a complex thing. It takes time to build a system, but yeah, you will eventually do it. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I hope this helps you guys. Any questions? Let me know. If any altcoin chart requests, let me know. Would be happy to chart. Otherwise, I think that's great. That's good for today. Alpha. Don't have it on me to like speak more of this stuff. Yeah, thank you guys for joining in. I always appreciate your every Monday. And I also do a stream on the every Thursday. That's basically a follow up on my plan that I made on the Monday. And every Monday, I basically do a general update, macro update, and then the Bitcoin intraday plan. And on the Thursday, if that plan is executed, then great, we make a new plan. But if not, then we will just basically give a follow up on that plan. So yeah, thank you guys for joining in. I hope to see you on the next session on the Thursday and then on the Monday. Cheers, guys. Have a great day. Have a great week. Yeah, cheers.